Not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This defense for the Steelers, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. A solid stiff arm. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Brandon Stevens there on the tackle.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Completes this one to Pickens. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And it's taken in at the 9. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
Well, that tells you.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 25. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Second and 3. Finds Pickens out right. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A tackle that time by Akello Witherspoon.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. The play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And they run with Harris off the option. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he will lose yardage on the play back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 115 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all. As we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Going to run the toss here to Harris. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken around the 12. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to throw here. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. They'll set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Boy, 179 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. Going deep for Walker. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
And the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Let's go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Back to throw. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Here's a quick throw to Freiermuth. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's caught it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Ravens have got it. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turned the ball over. Terrible.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Play action. It's Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, With his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Austin. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 198 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Dobbins. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there. But that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Ravens are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a play fake here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's got a man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to try and go deep again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now Dobbins again on second down. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now a handoff for Dobbins. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Second and 12, and you have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he'll get this up to the 25. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Ravens, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.